Hello everyone, this is Dr. Gevrek. We are studying labor economics and this is labor supply chapter 2, part 15. In this part, we'll be talking about labor supply of women. So a couple of facts about labor supply of women. There's substantial, huge cross-country differences in women's labor force participation rate. So if you look at United States, in 1990, look at the gap between Turkey, TR for Turkey, US for United States. This is double the labor, almost double the labor supply, labor force participation rate of Turkey. Okay, and this gap is still there. Okay. Second is over time, women's participation rates have increased. So you also see changes across cohorts of women, groups of different generations of women. Younger cohorts have higher labor force participation rate. Okay, so people who are born in 1930s, when they hit age 30, this is 1960, their labor force participation rate was 28%. Women who are born in 1950s, my mom, when they hit 30 in 1980, their labor force participation rate was 62. So younger cohorts more likely to participate in labor. So this is from one of my papers I published. And this is relative female labor force participation rate between 1950 till about 2000. Relative, this is labor force participation rate. Women divided by as a percentage of men. Okay, I don't know, when I write on the corners, it actually goes crazy like that. So this is the women divided by men labor force participation rate. So let's look at 2000s. China, almost closer to 90%. That means for each 100 men participating in the market, 90 or a little bit less than 90 women participating in the market. So then comes Ukraine, Poland, so on and so forth. Look at this, Lebanon. For each 100 men participating in the market, only about 40 women participating. And as you can see, there is a overall upward trend. Okay, so for all countries, women's labor force participation rate as a percent of men has been going up. So this is a growth in female labor force participation. This is the labor force participation growth rate and the wage growth rate, real wage growth rate across countries. So let's take a look at this. According to data in countries where wage growth rate is higher, this is wage growth rate. This is the labor force participation rate, labor force participation rate growth rate. Okay, the higher the wage growth rate, the higher the labor force participation rate. So women are responding to market forces. Wages go up faster, they're going to be participating in the market. If you look at United States, wage growth rate for women has been stagnant. So labor force participation rate for women is stagnant. So again, upward positive relationship, higher the wage growth rate, higher the labor force participation rate. So this is one of the reasons why labor force participation rate has been going up. This is cross-country explanation. Another explanation is the reduction in total fertility rate. Total fertility rate is the average number of children a hypothetical cohort of women would have by the end of their reproductive period if they were to subject to the fertility rates of a given historical period during the whole lives, and if they were not subject to mortality. So how many children are you having on an average in your life? Okay, this has been going down in the United States. So now we have 1.8 children. So each woman's fertility rate 1.8. That means on an average, we are not replacing the couple, right? Two people having less than 2 children. Okay, so population is going to shrink if that continues. So if you look at this, fertility rate has been declining. Philippines actually used to have on an average 9 kids. So in the 50s, I'm talking about even before 50s, In the 50s, average woman has 7.2 children. It has gone down, way down below 4 kids, but still substantially high. But as you can see, trend is downward in every single country. Germany being one of the lowest. Okay, Italy at the bottom, Germany, United Kingdom, Greece. So total fertility rate has been going down. When you have fewer children, you're more likely to participate in the labor market. So why is labor force participation rate increasing for women? Okay. Answer, we answered it partially. Real wages for women grew substantially, 2.1% in the US. In other countries, it's even more. Reservation wage decreased, so fertility rate has gone down. You have fewer kids. Opportunity cost of work has gone down. Probability P of work, probability of working has gone up. If I have no children, I'm more likely to work. If I had 8 children, less likely to work. US fertility rate went down from 3.3 children to 1.77 children in 2020. So fewer children being born, you can go back to work easily. Also, technological changes are responsible. Time-saving technologies, so you have more time for leisure and hours of work. My mom used to spend one whole weekend day to do laundry of 5 people. I remember we didn't have automatic washer, dryer. We don't still have dryers in Turkey, my home country. So she would spend whole day. Everything took long. We have microwaves. We just warm up some frozen dinner. Voila. Changes in legal cultural attitudes toward working women has changed. If you go back to 50s, it's a whole different ballpark. Social economic disruptions affected this. Great Depression of the 30s, World War II, lots of men going to war. You need to push women towards workforce. Rosetta Riveter, like we were pushing women to work in factories. And also oral contraceptives, which affected eventually the fertility rate and which affected, gave women control of their fertility and number of children they can have. So which one dominates explaining increasing labor force participation rate of women? So basically 60% of the increase is due to rising real wages. More women with younger children in the market. Back in days, only 15% worked who had younger kids. Now 30% who worked had younger kids. How about labor supply elasticity of women? Which effect dominates? Income or substitution? Remember, for men, income effect dominated weekly, which meant wages went up, hours of work went down. For women, substitution effect dominates. So wages go up, we actually work more. Upward slope labor supply curve is seen for women. Wages go up, hours of work goes up, leisure goes down. Okay, so it is greater than 0, it's positive. It's 0.2, elasticity 0.2, which means wages go up by 1%. Hours of work will go up, but inelastic, right? It's going to go up only by 0.2%. So 10%, for instance, increase in wages increases hours of work by only 2%. So inelastic. It's not elastic, it's inelastic. Wage changes affects probability of work. P of work means probability of work, but it doesn't affect hours much. This is an interesting finding. Women's labor force participation rate and hours respond to their husband's wage. Okay, this is interesting. It responds to their husband's wage. 10% increase in husband's wage, their labor force participation rate goes down by 5.3%. Again, inelastic, but the effect is there. And it decreases hours of women work by 1.7. Again, inelastic, but it's there. So their behavior is shaped by their husband's labor market prospects. So this is it for part 15. In part 16, we are going to start looking at policy applications, welfare programs, and how they affect people's work incentives. Next, we are looking at cash grants impact on labor supply. See you there.